going to take some video here. I know walk through, I think the two of you have been through kind of session before, so there might be some repetitive stuff there. Probably what we're going to do is you guys play next, right? So we'll probably have you guys just doing some pitching to catchers stuff, kind of see where you're at, and then maybe give you a few drills, a few pointers and stuff from there. And then afterwards, if you want to stick around, I'm going to go more to like introductory stuff, more basic stuff, which is never bad to get a refresher on some of the basic stuff as well, but that's kind of the order we'll go here. Gerald Muizelaar, USA men's national team pitching coach. I did a video earlier this year and had a lot of good response. And with that, drew some attention from some younger pitchers that have taken an interest in the game. So we're here in Denmark, Wisconsin at Circle Tap, starting to work with some of these guys that showed interest and just doing some follow-up work with them. Been good wide range. Some guys as young as 14 have been pitching for 6 weeks. Up to guys who've been at it for 4, 5, 6 years, and a wide range of different things that we've been working on. So it's been good, and hopefully we can continue to do this and continue to grow the sport and continue to get more U.S. men's pitching talent in the pool. A lot of what we're trying to do is, more the foundational stuff, which I know you guys have been through, and probably not bad to go through some of it again. And some of it, even though it's repetitive for you, they're trying to video and make it accessible to others as well. So yeah, that's what we'll do. I wouldn't mind maybe to start with, just each of you guys throw a catcher. Probably do it one at a time, and then what we'll do is, kind of see where you're at, and then pick out a couple of things to work on. That's probably the easiest way to do it, instead of having everybody going at one time. Probably gets a little hard for them to video. But like I said, we'll do one at a time. And then, like I said, if you guys have more technical stuff you want to talk about after, probably not going to get into individual pitch stuff as much right now. Although we'll see how the time goes and go from there. So why don't we have, Alex, why don't we have you go first? Do you want to come in and catch for him? So right now, just drop ball. That's all we're looking for. You don't have to throw 100%, but just kind of get set, normal position, and then after about 10 pitches or so, we'll kind of break down a couple of things. And
I'm gonna just throw one walk through. They're down.
all right, try and keep your front foot still. Right now and it's easy to do when you're in the grass, but you're taking this foot and you're taking a big step. When it comes to illegal pitches, that's one of the few things they'll call is if you take the big step with that front foot. So try and keep that relatively stationary. I mean, you can rock a little as long as you're not picking up off the ground, and obviously rotating is fine. A little sliding is okay, but step like that, they're going to call.
On the mound, I normally start like with my back toe on the back of the mound. That way when I step, my heel is in the front of the mound.
Okay. Yeah. I think you could run into some problems. ISC, I don't think they're going to call it. Internationally, that's probably something that they would call. Yeah.
You flew all the way up here for this? Heck yeah, that's dedication, man. Good deal.
Is that dipper?
Huh?
Did that dipper get away a little? Yeah. I throw that pitch too. probably be good, yeah.
You look how like there's like a hill here and I'm like coming down, you know?
Sure. Yep. Yep. That's fair.
I think I do the same step. It's gonna be hard to.
Yeah. You should give me two more pitches, and then we'll kind of point out a couple things. Okay. All right. And you guys come in just to listen to it as well. So some of what I see, I think what you do well is I think you get to a place where your weight is stacked over your back leg pretty well. So you sort of hesitate somewhere in this area, but when you're at a position where your arms maybe not necessarily right at the top, but as you're finishing, you're coming into the back half of your motion, I feel like you're stacked on the back leg pretty well. So you get to this position well. What I'm noticing is you have a really long stride, and on a drop ball, sometimes what's happening is your weight is back at the finish of your drop ball, as opposed to sometimes you're I think almost overstriding. So what I would say is you probably want to shorten that stride by about 6 inches, allow that upper half to get over that leg, get on top of the ball, have it going down, as opposed, I think for a rise ball, that's fine. You want to overstride and get back, but on that drop ball, you want to get your weight over here. The other thing I notice is you've got a lot of side-to-side movement, and what you'll find is if you draw a line from second base to home plate, that's your sort of your power line. And what I'm finding is when you start, so you'll be in this position, your feet are in a very straight line, and what happens then is your body, when you're coming forward, you naturally jump towards the first base side, and then some of your power is being lost to that side, as opposed to if you widen your feet a little bit more, almost shoulder width apart, as you come forward, your weight and your momentum is going to go more towards home plate, as opposed to losing some of that power going off to the side. So I want you to throw a couple more pitches, and let's just work on that one thing. Keep that front foot relatively still. Just widen your feet a little bit for me, and try and have more of a straight line to home plate.
So widen my feet when I set up?
When you set up, yep. So instead of being here, where your feet are basically in a straight line between home and second, come a little closer to shoulder width apart, so you're starting a little bit more square to home plate. That might feel a little weird, but let's try that for the first, just for a few pitches here. So get set, and once you get set, pause, and then let me take a look. So is that how far back your back foot's going to go? Okay. So take your left foot, and I'll bring it over 3-4 inches. Yep. Okay. Now try that. All right. Okay, and even just go 3/4 speed because it's a little bit weird, but just try that. And what you did that time is you went shoulder width apart, and then you move that front foot over in the middle so you came to a straight line again. So try and keep that foot still and be a little wider apart. Now, what you might have to do is instead of stepping back so far, you got really off balance, you might have to shorten that just a couple of inches to keep that balance. But be sort of this, maybe not even shoulder width, a little less than shoulder width, but you want to be really kind of a solid base so you're not feeling off balance or anything. Okay, so get set, and then with that front foot, you're doing good getting set. It's that front foot comes right over as soon as you go to pitch each time to get back to your kind of prior position. So a little bit wider. There you go. Okay. Now don't move that front foot other than just going forward. So maybe you're going to need to use your arms a little bit more to get momentum. But that step, try and keep that step out of it. Yeah. Okay. Do you feel going more towards home plate? So your jump towards the side is not quite as dramatic as it was before.
I just feel like, because I'm so used to like leaning back, you know.
Yep.
I just feel like I'm just like not even. You know what I mean?
Yep, I know. Yep, I know exactly. So what I think that is your weight transfer is a lot less. When you were stepping and your upper body was coming over that front leg. Now that you're trying to keep that foot still, I don't think you're getting that weight transfer onto the front leg as much. So go again 3/4 speed, start in this position, and really be intentional. Maybe over exaggerate, bend this front knee, and transfer that weight over the front foot as you go into your delivery. Again, no, not as worried about velocity or where the ball goes, but try and focus on staying good, decent width apart. Start back like you were before, and then come forward and bend that front knee and get your weight over top, and then go. So, because you have that, I think you have that drive from your legs. We're just trying to get the drive going towards home plate as opposed to having it come so far to the side. So on this one, really exaggerate for me, leaning back to start, and then really exaggerate coming forward and bending that front knee. So more than what you would normally do in a game, but just to get the feeling of what is it like to transfer the weight from your left leg to your right leg. Okay?
I just feel like I'm hopping like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. So again, over exaggerate the weight transfer. Get this back leg almost bent a little and get your weight upper body back, and then transfer forward. As you transfer forward, put that weight onto this front leg, bend the knee, and then drive. And again, we're not as worried where the ball goes, but yeah, we want to really exaggerate that weight transfer and get the weight transfer, instead of it going sideways, getting it going towards the catcher. Okay. All right. Well, do you want to just go to the side, maybe focus on that a little bit? Or actually, let's do one other thing before we have you work on that on the side. Let's not focus as much on the legs here. Try and do your regular delivery, and this time, instead of striding so far, do the same stride except for where your front foot lands. Drive it into the ground a few inches shorter and get your upper body coming over top of your leg. So for the drop ball. Yep. Drop and change, anything that you want with a downward spin. Right, and what you don't want to do is you don't want to reduce your power, you don't want to jump any less, you want to get the same drive. It's just drive the front leg into the ground a little bit sooner and get your upper body over top of that front leg.
Ideally, where do you see that?
As far as distance or side to side, or
Down, as far down, like where you want him to catch that, like at the knee,
oh, with a catcher, where you want the catcher to catch it.
like basically like how much you want it to drop off.
It's a difficult question. I would say you want it as, if you're throwing it for a strike, you want it as low as the umpire is going to call it game to game. And in situation 1-2 count, you're up in the count, you want them to chase, you probably want to have it, you don't want to waste it. Like if you get no 2 count, coaches will tell you to waste a pitch. I think that's garbage. It's a purpose pitch. And if you're going to throw a drop ball a foot outside, why even throw it? You just gave them an extra ball. But in that situation, you probably want to say, let's keep it at the knee, sort of the bottom of the strike zone, but 6 inches off the plate. Or maybe in a situation where you say, I'll keep it on the plate, but I want to have it 6 inches to a foot below the knee for them to chase something. So again, it's situational, but when you're sort of in an even count, wanting to drop ball for a strike, you want it as low as you can get it within the strike zone. Generally speaking, that's going to be at the knee to 6 inches below. Is kind of what most umpires will call.
I just feel like when I try to like bury down, I just don't want them to come through. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I feel like it's a lot more arm than it is.
Yep. Well, and what you want is not so much, you don't want that leg coming down to cause you to rotate faster. You want it to cause you to get your upper body over top of your leg and then still have the same rotation of the hips after. So So do one where you almost stop like a foot short. Like just again, push off hard. Everything is the same. All right through here is the same. It's just put your front leg down into the ground a little bit sooner to get your upper body over top. Maybe even having your, instead of jumping so far this way, you may end up jumping a little bit higher and coming more of a motion up to down as opposed to gliding out. Yeah, see, I don't know if you feel it, your upper body is still, if we do it in slow motion, my guess is when you're releasing, you're sort of in this position with the shoulders and upper body back a little bit as opposed to being up on this front leg. So those are two things I would say, maybe go on the side and just work a little bit on, we can always come back to, but those are the two things that I really notice. Is one is a lot of your momentum is going towards first base, so I think you're losing velocity that way. And then the second part is your upper body is really back when you're releasing the drop ball as opposed to getting your weight over top of it. So.
Thanks for watching, and we hope you found this video helpful. Now, it's up to you to get this video in the hands of as many new pitchers as possible, and breathe some new life into this game we all love.